Hello everyone and welcome to the 100 Wonders of the World. Today we'll be talking about Halong Bay, which is in Vietnam and the continent is Asia. Halong Bay. In the northern Vietnamese Halong Bay, nature has produced one of the most extraordinary karst landscapes in the world. The bay's nearly 2,000 small islands from a landscape as magnificent as its bazaar. The 15th century Vietnam king waxed poetic upon seeing the island world of Halong Bay near the Tonkin Gulf. Hundreds of streams flow around the hills, the wide strewn islands like the sea's chessboard rising up to meet the sky. The primal forces of nature created the most beautiful island landscape in the world in northern Vietnam. In an area of nearly 580 square miles, some 2,000 small rocky islands came into being about 300 million years ago. Consisting primarily of shelly limestone formed in a marine environment, each island is a labyrinth of caves, grottos, and winding tunnels. Legends about Halong, which means descending dragon, tell of a dragon sent by the gods to defend the local inhabitants from enemies invading the region from the north. The dragon Halong drove the invaders back through the bay, striking at them with powerful blows of its tail, carving up any land masses in its path into smaller and smaller islands. The enemies were driven out permanently. The islands and caves remained. Out of gratitude, the local inhabitants named the bay after the dragon that saved them. Halong. Even today, it is said that the dragon lives somewhere in the bay, deep beneath the water's surface, where it continues to ensure the well-being of the bay people. Today, the dragon protects nearly 300 families that make their living by fishing on the bay. The fishing villages have no streets and no town square. These are villages that float on the water. Most live in small houseboats with bamboo roofs that serve both as housing and as place to tie their fishing vessels. They will never leave their bay and spend their entire lives on water. Many of these families have followed the ebb and flow of the tides of generations, going about their daily work, sailing between the rocky islands. For them, Halong Bay itself is home, giving them nourishment, housing, and protection. If a storm rises up out of the South China Sea, the fishermen can easily take shelter in one of the many grottos that dot the islands. Tunnels lead to protected waters inside the rock formations, which are themselves otherwise uninhabited. Over the course of millions of years, the caves and grottos have developed a bizarre scholastic formations, piling dome-like chambers, while stalagmites ring the shoreline of cave seas. Settlement among the islands of Halong Bay has been forbidden since 1994, with an exception made for the traditional fishermen and their families, who are officially tolerated because they clean up after the ever-increasing numbers of tourists visiting the bay. This has ensured that up to now the ecosystem of Halong Bay has remained intact. The flora and fauna that inhabit its waters are lush, with a particularly wide range of species present. The islands are also the much visited hunting grounds of variety of tropical land and seabirds, from herons to eagle to parrots, some species of which have virtually taken over entire islands. The underwater environment is a veritable paradise for fish, crustaceans, and corals. Over 150 species of coral and well over 1,000 species of fish have been identified thus far in Halong Bay, where they thrive on the nutrition-rich reefs. Lobsters, prawns, and crabs hide themselves in the caves and fissures of the rugged underwater mountains. Unfortunately, the natural paradise of Halong Bay is also under threat, mainly by the pollution that is the product of industrialization in nearby highly productive coal mining regions. UNESCO has supported the efforts of the Vietnamese government to protect the country's #1 tourist attraction and one the world's most endangered landscapes. Thank you for listening, everyone. Now let's look at some of the facts before I end this video. Location. Halong Bay is located in the Tonkin Gulf, Vietnam. Unique. The bay contains over 2,000 rocky islands made of shelly limestone. Area. Its area is approximately 580 square miles. History. Its geological origins go back over 300 million years. World Heritage. Halong Bay was named a World Natural Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1994. Thank you for listening, everyone, and watching. Stay tuned for more of the 100 Wonders of the World. Thank you.